Hello, this is Elliot Gemalto talking about Sentinel EMS Enterprise installation. Bear in mind that installation of Sentinel EMS needs to be done only on Windows. And these are the optional versions: XP, Server 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, and Windows 7 and 8. There are two optional servers for databases that are supported. One is Microsoft SQL Server and the second is Oracle. Now if you choose the default installation, then you get the Microsoft SQL Server with as the version of Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2 Service Pack 2 Express Edition. This is the default. If you would like to get not the SQL but the Oracle, then you should go to the advanced installation, and over there you have the option to choose the Oracle as for the database. Now if you would like Microsoft SQL, however, you don't want the default 2008 R2, then you should manually install, or maybe you had already installed in the past, but you should manually install or make sure that there is an installation of one of the Microsoft SQL databases that are listed here. And after that you should go to the advanced installation, and in the advanced installation it will take and use, of course you have to link it to the right database that you had installed previously, but it is optional. So these are the list of what are the optional databases that can be part of Sentinel EMS. As mentioned before, there are two types for installation. One is Express and the other is the Advanced. The Express uses default installations as said before with Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2, and port is being used as 8080, the number of the port used for listening to calls of clients, and SSL is not optional here in the Express, and the Express also chooses defaults for any other thing that Sentinel EMS use. However, as an ISP, you can choose to install with advanced installation. The advanced installation, of course, provides you with more optional things like choosing the port, not 8080, something else, or maybe if you want to use HTTPS using the SSL, or if you want to choose Active Directory to provide you right access for users. According to the users of the Active Directory, you will get user access inside the Sentinel EMS Enterprise. Or if you want to choose other things that related to the enforcement, related to anything else that needs to be defined for the Sentinel EMS configuration. Some part of the things does not need advanced because you can install it as Express and then run again the installer and ask to modify, because the installer will help you also to modify things. Like if you had installed it as Express with default and now you want to change the port number and to change it to SSL, HTTPS, then you can do it afterwards. Even though that you have installed it as Express, you can modify it later on. But what is important to note here is that the advanced installation always require as a prerequisite that an existing SQL server or Oracle already exists before you go to the advanced installation, and therefore during the installation you have to link and provide details of where is the database, like port number the database using user and password, etc. Another thing that is important during the installation is that you will have internet connectivity. Why it is important? Because during the installation there is a connection to Gemalto servers in order to check whether the customer ID that you provide is licensed to get this Sentinel EMS installation for you as an ISV, as a software vendor. So talking about Express installation. Express installation will install this. There are other components, but these are the four important components that I want to talk about. First of all, there is a Tomcat 7 web server. This web server is used by Sentinel EMS to become a Sentinel EMS server that offers other clients to connect to it and get the activity. On the top of the Tomcat 7, we installed the EMS as a web application that runs on the top of the Tomcat 7. So the EMS web application, which is Java-based, runs on the Tomcat, which is a Java server. For the it's a Java web server. We also installed the SQL as said before. If you choose the Express, then you get the default SQL Server 2008 R2 Service Pack 2 Express. So this is installed as a server for the SQL, for the database, and on the top of it we create a database to be used by the Sentinel EMS, which is called EMS Enterprise Database. In the Windows, you will also see a Windows service. The Windows service name is EMS End Server. As a matter of fact, this Windows service is the one of the Tomcat, and this service is the Tomcat listening to in the port 8080 to calls of clients that want to get into the Sentinel EMS and use it. Here is another way to look at the components that are being installed. We said there is Apache Tomcat web server, and on the top of it we have the EMS web application that uses Java. This is Java servlet container. This EMS web application uses the EMS database. The EMS finally creates licenses, but the licenses can be for three different types of enforcement. One is Sentinel EMS, the second is Sentinel Cloud, and the third is any other third-party homegrown license generation. All this is the server, and the server can be accessed from clients, and the access is done using using internet browsers. The internet browsers use HTML or HTTPS with HTTP and HTTPS if it has been configured as SSL. To get from the EMS server to provide requests and get back with results. There is also an option to use the EMS web services to connect with ERP, CRM, and other applications, other systems, and the communication is done mostly using XML over HTTP. And this communication also can be secured if you use SSL installation for the EMS server, then you get also HTTPS for this communication. As we said, in order to have another SQL server, not the default one, then you have to first install SQL and EMS database, and it is required sometimes if you want to provide, as we said, other either SQL Server, not the default one, but it can be required also if you want to install the Sentinel EMS database on another machine, not on the very same machine where the EMS is installed. There is a list of steps how to do it. I'm not providing it here. There are documents. There is a document how to do it. But there are two optional ways how to create the EMS database, either by using a command prompt or using a normal installation of SQL using the instance name EMS Enterprise Database. All the details can be found in the documentation. Thank you for watching.